Indonesia, the fourth most populous nation on earth, has the largest Muslim population of any, close to 200 million people. Over 50% still live on $2 a day and can't afford the many things that we take for granted. About 3% of the population own a computer and few are able to watch pay TV. Yet most homes will have a TV and radio set. Many have mobile phones because they're cheap to buy. People will spend 2 hours to get to work in the morning and will listen to their local radio station on their mobile phone whilst riding on the bus or travelling on their bikes. Indonesia is one of the 200 countries where Leading the Way is broadcast on radio and television. Scripts are sent to a team where they're translated into the local Indonesian language, Bahasa, and then revoiced to create our dual language program.
Leading the Way number 639 or program Bahasa Indonesia, Dia Buka Jalan nomor 600. Halo saudara pendengar, kami senang Anda dapat bergabung lagi bersama dengan kami.
It's broadcast across the nation on over 45 local radio stations, where it's impacting and changing people's lives. People such as Tuti, a devout Muslim, who was riding home from work when she turned on the radio on her new mobile phone.
Entah yang pertama kali saya tangkap dari handphone saya frekuensinya itu 100,6 radio Heartland. Sebenarnya saya kaget karena ternyata itu radio Kristen, sedangkan waktu itu saya Muslim gitu.
Tuti has since come to know Christ through listening to the radio, in particular to Leading the Way.
Tapi ada satu yang dia buka jalannya. Dia buka jalan itu waktu pertama denger aja dia buka jalan. Itu bener-bener buka jalan gitu. Dan yang saya denger itu siaran maksudnya itu dalam bahasa Inggris gitu. Tapi ada transkrip ke bahasa Indonesia. Pertama sih saya ucapkan terima kasih sama Tuhan yang luar biasa. Tuhan kirim beberapa orang untuk memberkati saya. Tuhan kasih saya kekuatan. Tuhan tunjukkan kebenaran, Tuhan tunjukkan kemuliaannya melalui beberapa orang. Dan Tuhan memang sudah kirimkan Dr. Michael untuk bicara melalui radio.
Tuti's life has been changed forever through the broadcasts of Leading the Way and the power of radio. She's one of millions that are impacted through these broadcasts across the nation. Each local station in Indonesia has a reach of between 200,000 and 2 million people. Leading the Way also helps many pastors who have little access to resources to use in their churches. Pastor Ruben is one. He looks after a congregation in a community of lepers who've been shunned by society.
Jadi dia buka jalan sangat memberkati. Karena dia buka jalan itu banyak berbicara tentang iman ya. Tentang kemenangan, tentang pengharapan. Jadi saya selalu kalau ada punya waktu, kalau saya nggak sibuk, saya selalu dengar acara dia buka jalan ya.
Mr. Marcos is one of Pastor Ruben's parishioners, and he too has been transformed through listening to Leading the Way.
Istilahnya kan namanya saya buka jalan, itu kan saya percaya bahwa dalam kesulitan apapun Tuhan pasti akan memberikan jalan buat menyelesaikan kesulitan kita.
Mr. Marcos has had a hard life, having suffered from leprosy for many years, and having been left alone by his family who rejected him because of the disease. He found his way to the town with Pastor Ruben, where he came to know Jesus and was welcomed as part of that community. He listens daily to Leading the Way, and the teaching has really helped him to get closer to God. The stations that Leading the Way broadcasts on reach across the many islands. One of our partners runs 20 radio stations around the country, and Leading the Way is a critical part of the broadcasts.
When we know Leading the Way has a good program in discipling and reaching out the people, I felt this is the program that we want. because that will complement what we are doing right now. Our heart is to disciple people. When I listen Leading the Way, it's really biblical-based teaching, and it's very solid in teaching, and I think our listeners need to listen Leading the Way.
In a station in East Java recently, 12 devout Muslims gave their lives to Christ, and Leading the Way was a vital part of the process. Many Muslims will listen to Leading the Way because it's simple to understand as well as being dual language. But also, as our partner put it, because it's centred on the Word of God, many Muslims will respect the program and will listen to it. There are many opportunities in the coming years to reach out to this nation. There are also challenges. At this time, there's a window of opportunity to reach into Indonesia with the Word of God through radio and television. Christianity is rapidly growing, and Leading the Way can bring the Word of God to many millions of people with our partners. Indonesia is a democratic nation and is enjoying freedom at this time. But there are people who would like to change this and introduce strict laws. Our goal is to have Leading the Way radio broadcasts in each of the 300 districts throughout Indonesia, and to look for opportunities to broadcast the TV program on local public channels across the nation, where we can impact every citizen as we passionately proclaim uncompromising truth.